okay. Not seeing anything too unusual. Only one gearing from Alliance, but we've seen that plenty of times before. Moskva, Azov, Hindenburg, no DM. I only see one radar cruiser for LOBUZ.
Yeah. DM's been a fairly standard staple, surprised not to see it. I guess they think the Moskva will be enough for coverage, and then they're going to play further back, not try and push into a cap, or perhaps they just think the map doesn't favour a DM, although I see a lot of decent places to put a DM on this map, to be honest.
Yes, or it's possible that they're just intending to go utterly berserk and just get straight into their opponents and just butt heads, basically. However, to start with, we have the headbutting contest, more literally. So, ramming speed. There we go. Right, and we are clear. Camera is free. Let's get this show on the road and just attach to, well, nobody for the moment. So, looks like an early... Honestly, I can't tell at this point. It almost looks like either an A split or just a general bomb burst from Alliance here.
Looks like we've got an AC split, and I did catch that. Our Hakuryu here did do the dive bomb trick. They dropped their bombs quickly, and they're now using it as a very fast scout. So,
and likewise,
we saw what happened.
Seeing the same from Feld here. Both bombers have dumped their bombs, and again, we've got the turbo scouts and the fighter bait. Feld, by the way, got his fighters into the air first, so we're going to see some early dogfighting action. Of course, Feld might have actually overcommitted over in Delta 4 there. He's breaking away, and I think he's going to avoid a confrontation, but if he tries to engage 2-on-1, that could get messy. And what's developing from Alliance is very definitely an AC split. Slight emphasis on A, though. Both teams, from what you're saying, seem to be ignoring B.
Yeah. Well, we do have LOBUZ's Moskva just hovering very much outside of it. No real intention of moving forward.
Yes, in fact, Amethyst Drago, if he was going to try that, I'd expect him to be a lot more aggressive in getting south, trying to get into this island at Echo 5 and just tucking into the radar niche there. And in fact...
That's the position I'd expect him to be. Perhaps that's where he's going now. He just wanted to get some early shots and stay further back, although...
Maybe, but he's taken a risk doing that because he's exposed himself to return fire as he does so. And there's some early high X coming in. Takes some scratch damage, catches a couple of fires. Instant damcon to control that. But, well, unless he can get undercover...
That's a fairly decent shot from... I assume that was Lock and Powers Montana that caught that.
Given the damage it did, yes. But if he catches another fire at this point and he's wasted that crucial 30 seconds... getting defilated behind the island, it could very well cost him in hit points that he doesn't really want
on his rear.
Yeah, now he's on fire on his stern. He's made the defilade, but the Henri's got him on the flank. Even if he does defilade at this point, he's lost close to half his health already. Okay, he'll be able to heal some of it back once he's safely in cover, but Masajo will just keep the pressure on at this point. He needs to turn, skid in behind the side. I think he's actually misjudged his turn slightly. Yes, he has. He's not said he was aiming to hit this next ridge line along. And, well, Masajo's blocked by the island, so I think he might get away with it. But that
nothing has shots there.
That pause at the start has cost him pretty dearly.
Yeah, it took a bit more damage than ideally he would have liked, I'm sure.
Yeah, and meanwhile, let me see. Simon's gotten himself into point C, got the cap, but took some damage in the process, and well, the fighter cover's keeping him safe for the moment, so I think he's going to manage that unmolested. But the real scrap's building over in point A. Aetherian and Papa Seal are basically in a staring contest, but, well, Papa Seal's got fighter cover and Aetherian hasn't, which means Amethyst Drago was able to get a wee sneaky shot into Aetherian, and who's going to make the break first, I wonder? Are either of them going to break? Because no, neither Aetherian nor Papa Seal want to come around that corner and get in front of the other side's cruisers. So I think we're into a Mexican standoff once again.
Ooh, that was a decent shot. Lock and power again, punishing the broadside Hindenburg. Take off about 15k, I think, in that salvo.
Yeah,
I think that's one of the scenarios where the turtleback probably helped out a little bit to mitigate that one possible citadel that could have been in there.
LOBUZ probably regretting showing as much broadside as he did just there. As you say, 8 about 16,000. And Alliance are pinning the map. I think they've just realised that their eastern flank might be about to turn. So the 9-10 line is looking very shaky. That said, if Gringos do try to push it, they are going to take a beating. There's both a Zhao and an Henri just watching that, waiting to crossfire anyone who does barrel into it. Well,
and Montana would still have shots there as well.
Indeed, but Urella's opening fire on Maceijo Vietnam, and Caramel's looking for the shot as well, but Maceijo's turning enough that I think he's going to angle against the worst of it. Yep, gets away, only takes about 5,000 damage off the whole maneuver, but he's opening up the angle again. Angled on Urella's, but if he's not careful, he's going to give Caramel a broadside, and yeah, Caramel was waiting for that. Here come the shells. 6 rounds, 16 inches of freedom around, and Maceijo, ooh, lucks out, gets straddled, random number god saves him. He plugs in his engine boost, he's getting out of there. But right now it's very much advantage Gringos, isn't it?
Yeah, they've got the cap point in C, and it doesn't look like the Henri and the Zhao have any real intention of trying to contest that. I wouldn't either. I don't want to push into a Hindenburg Montana either.
Let's be honest here. Who'd push into the teeth of a Hindenburg, a Montana, and a Gearing, potentially lurking on that flank?
Interestingly, though, Gearing is leaving that flank. He's going for a B cap.
That's to be expected.
There's no radar blocking B, so he's more than welcome to.
Yeah, and
we've only one destroyer on the map, and we've got it permalit up. There's not really anything that's going to sneak up on him either.
Absolutely, and the DM is currently stuck in cover. Boja Lumpka probably wishing he was a couple of islands to the east at the moment, but he can't move without breaking cover. In fact, Alliance have completely lost contact. The only thing they can see right now is Parpasil, and that's only from air spotting.
Ooh, we have an issue here. Parpasil has to get out of there now, because those two Hindenburgs coming around the island, they'll have perfect shots on him, and if he stayed there being just perma-lit up by proxy, he would be taking a lot more damage than he really needs to. He's going to take a lot here anyway. The Hindenburgs are right there.
I don't know, but no one's got line of... Oh, there we go. They've reacquired. The fighters are moving up. Cat fighter may be looking for a shot there. Right now, Parpasil must be yelling for fighter cover. And in fact, here come the planes, but it's a bit late. They forced him out of the control point, and Aetherian has got his cap going. But
down to
point B,
7,500 health now.
Point B goes down to the Gringos. So,
yeah, or it gets a free cap there. Uncontested,
indeed.
No real issues there.
And Aetherian is in a similar position. And yeah, there we go. Parpasil being forced to break away. He's picked up by the aircraft as he exits the smoke. Once again, there's high explosive shellfire immediately coming in. People were waiting for that opportunity. A couple of early snapshots. But those aren't the problem. It's what happens as people find the range and the bearing. And 5-inch fire starts coming in from Aetherian. Hindenburgs are looking at him as well. And torpedo drop coming in. That's going to be a narrow angle cross drop. Gearing's not a Grozovoy. He's going to have to try and comb these torpedoes. And in order to do it, he's got to slam on the brakes.
Ooh, he's going to take one.
Eats one, doesn't quite do it, but that's not going to leave him on minimal health. They've actually lost contact again. The cat fighter was holding
coming in
spotted.
As well.
So it's not going to end too well. And it looks like he's gotten away, and the Sol Alliance fighter is getting smacked down and mugged. There we go. So Gringos concede point A, almost lose a gearing, but there's still 2 control points up. They have the position advantage and a 200-point lead. Alliance have got to get forward, and they've got to start killing, or this is going to get messy for them.
Yeah, Amphis Drago is not in the greatest position here. He's getting shot up a lot.
Yeah,
I think the Montana might get a broadside salvo in here. I'm kind of expecting to see some shells. Here they come.
Yeah.
Is it going to connect well? No, underestimates his speed.
Indeed, got his range wrong a little as well. I'm actually surprised Amethyst moved at all, because he had a very good blocking position there, because in order to pull something off, Alliance were going to have to come into B at some point, and he can just radar the living daylights out of Alliance's gearing. Aetherian's got to move across into B. That's exactly what he is doing at the moment. He's got to get over and get that support back. Problem is, the two Hindenburgs on the one line are now effectively out of the game for the next few minutes. Excerpted and Kreisin were in a good position for the moment when they were trying to cap A, but now they're just isolated and almost irrelevant unless they can break east, and to do that they've got to run a fairly nasty gauntlet because it's open water between the one line and point B at the EF section of the map.
Yeah, right now the Henri and Zhao thought about maybe going for C, but the Hindenburg's still hanging around, and the Montana still had shots on there, discouraging the Zhao.
Yes. Although Quarmel's about to head behind that island, unless he's stopped dead. So Quarmel very effectively locking down both B and C here. At the moment his guns are covering B, but it wouldn't take more than a few seconds for him to just crank the turrets round and lock onto either the Henri of Massageau or the Zhao of Blood Legend and just start doing it. But
Quarmel took a salvo from one of the Montanas, the one near C. I can't remember who that was.
Yes,
but
and looks like Massageau's got his attention there. Rounds out towards the Henri IV. Torpedoes coming in as well, but he's bound to those. I think he might eat one, maybe two.
Oh, he sneaks a Citadel through the bow there on the Henri.
Yeah.
Well, only the one shell connected, but like a Citadel in, because 406 does not care for your angling.
Indeed, especially not if you're in a cruiser. Battleships, yeah. Cruisers, nope. That said, it doesn't do much to change the position. He's very effectively forced Massageau's head down and into cover. Eats another salvo from Al Draconian there. Upper belt, no citadels, but he's down to half health. The question is, how much flak has he lost? Because the bombers are having a look, and the fighter cover's not in a good position to intercept here. Both torpedo bomber squadrons looking hungry. He gets rounds out towards Blood Legend. I think Quarmel's just trying to operate suppressive fire here. Wait, did he just pop his Damcon on a single fire?
I don't know. I'm not sure if he did. I'm not even sure if they caused a fire, but...
Well, it doesn't matter, because this is going to hurt. Torpedoes in the water, he's got no momentum.
Strafe just saved him from taking a second load.
And the one torpedo that did get away misses, but now his situation's looking really rough. He's on fire, his engine's out, he's flooding, and you know, I think he might have snapped Damcon that single fire, and he's going to regret it.
I think he might have done. Yeah, he's... Look at the focus fire coming in. He's dead, regardless of whether there was a flood or not.
And Feld gets the kill, and that's important because that breaks one of Gringos' anchors on point C. They're now in a very good position to start pushing into C and rolling up the map from here. Meanwhile, however, Kreisin
makes a small mistake there. He had over half of the A capture going and then accidentally backed out just a little bit, so that's a little bit of time lost on the A cap, but I'm not sure if anything can really stop him from doing this right.
No. Kreisin is sunk. Exerhortis could get guns on, but he needs spotting, which he might get from the fighters. But at the same time, little rowboats, Hakuryu... Well, he's got 3 fighters there. He's enough to run a deterrent, basically. But there's a smoke cloud covering what I presume is Parpusil or Uruk-Jaimun's gearing, and just turning that cap round. And there's nothing in position to get reconnaissance. There just isn't. And oof. In fact, Feld's had enough. He's pulling that fighter squadron... Actually, I think that fighter squadron got shot down. So, little rowboats, torpedo bombers are eyeing up Exerhortis. Now, does he have defensive fire? Does it matter? Gringos grabbed that point A back. They've got their control advantage back. They're now almost 300 points up.
They're making a very aggressive push on C, though, Alliance. They've got the Montana, the Henri, and the Zhao all pushing in. The Montana's going for the cap rather than the Zhao or the Henri, which I find a little interesting. I would have put the Zhao into the cap, stealth cap it, because it's got the best stealth rating of the 3 ships there, just so you avoid any possible chance of resetting, because the Montana's going to be spotted the whole time.
Yes, the problem is, of course...
just reset for days.
Stealth's a bit of a misnomer here, because enemy aircraft overhead, little rowboats about to secure air superiority unless Feld gets some immediate flak support. It's 4 on 2. Nope, there we go. 4 on 0. And those bombers from Feld are suddenly looking very exposed as 2 of Little Robo's fighter squadrons move in. Masaja's got into the cap circle as well. Legend is angling port. He's trying to get in there, but he might go broadside to Reles in the process. I think they're relying on that island to shield them from Reles's incoming fire. It is
they've
tall
got Gearing
enough.
in the cap as well. That's why they're perfectly fine. They've got him stealthed in there.
So, in fact, they've got 2 ships in there. Atharian gone right the way across the map, grabbed B, and helped secure C as well. That turns around the territory situation, but they're almost 300 points down with 5 minutes on the clock. It's going to be close if they're hoping just for caps to do the job. Unfortunately, over in A, Exorhortis is in trouble. He's got both LOBUZ and Tumanisvili firing on him. He's on fire, and I think his Damcon is... Nope, there it is. There's his Damcon. But he's still got Zhao High Explosive coming in. But, Tumans took some significant hits there. He's down to less than 20,000 health. And Exorhortis is on fire again. That hot, crispy feeling might well be becoming a bit too familiar. Tumanis, however, needs to evade hard. Rounds coming down. And, very nicely done. He does have a fire to contend with, but he breaks contact, gets away, and the Hindenburg of Lobuz is now firmly dominating A. In fact, Alliance have been forced right off point A. Their west flank is bending right now. In fact, Feld's having to reposition and leg it off to the southeast. But, you know, for all that neither of us had heard of Gringos, Little Robo's doing a very good job of running the air battle. And the surface fleet have done maybe enough to swing this round. There we go. They've got to destroy it into point B. That locks it. So it's now stalemated there. But Bojalamska is in position to radar, and Atherian will have the Dakar on standby. So, has Boza got that radar ready to go? There we go. There's the radar.
Uruk's not hanging around.
Uruk Simon gets spotted, and yeah, it's his bad luck that he was where he was, because if he'd been behind and he could have just stuck his head down and waited for the noise to stop. But right now, he's got no option but to run. Meanwhile,
Alliance here have to kill fast. That's the only way they can
and
this tide.
Wow, Rowboat taking advantage of the fact that there's so much high explosive fire, get some late torpedo strikes in. A couple of torpedoes didn't arm in time, but Algraconians just lost a good 10-15,000, and it's Montana on Montana. 2 battleships enter, 1 battleship leaves. I must admit, in Zlokituk's position, I would be highly tempted to try for the ram here. He's on 20,000 health. He's probably not going to get away unless Algraconian really...
He's going for a shot on the Henri, who's exposing himself a little too much, going for this damage.
Yeah.
He's going to connect.
I have to wonder... Algraconian's showing a good chunk of broadside as well. And just looking at Zlokituk's course, bow in, full ahead. He's going for the ram, going for this straight trade.
Honestly, he doesn't have to. If he was, if he held his reload instead of going for the Henri, he could absolutely just broadsided him, like we saw in the last year. Oh, he's still going for the Henri. He's going for as much value as possible here.
And he's going to miss the
Henri's
ram.
Fast.
Algraconian gets past
Henri,
it.
though.
Good hits on the Henri, but unfortunately, he missed the ram, and he's not going to survive long enough to get the ship turned around and make another shot. There he goes. Yeah. But
and all of a sudden, Alliance now have the point lead.
Yes, and they've just squeaked it back. As noted, if he'd gone for the trade, that... Oh, there we go, another trade. Masajo goes down, taken up by Reles and the Hindenburg,
such low health.
Swings
he's got
it
Des Moines
back.
And Montana coming after him. There's no way he's going to be able to survive this.
Yeah, and
so that point lead's only temporary.
Alliance are making that focused fire count once again.
415 health, Des Moines salvo to finish him off. There he goes.
Boom, there we go. So that puts Alliance 868 to 830, 2 control points up. And now it's the Gringos who have got to turn this around. And with less than a minute in the game, I don't think they've got the DPM to do it unless they get really lucky. And somehow...
Reles here is going to have to absolutely DPM down this Montana and hope that he doesn't get annihilated in the process. Here comes Salvo.
In 42 seconds.
Yeah, there's not enough DPM for that. Absolutely no.
There just isn't. And
destination, you never know.
You never know, but honestly, I think at this point, I think Zlokituk is going to be kicking himself for missing that ram because...
Yeah. Well, I think the gearing might go down here and end the match prematurely. No.
However, Papa Seal is going to be sweating just a little. Still rounds in the air, 10 seconds on the match, 940 to 860. Yeah, if they'd made that trade and taken out Montana, that would have gone to the Gringos. But as it is 1-0 to Alliance. This is more like it.
Yeah, here we go. Close matches that could be decided by one little mistake here and there. This is more like King of the Sea that I was expecting to see.
Absolutely. So, Grande Gringos serving notice to Alliance. They're not going to have quite such an easy ride all the way through this game. Of course, now Grande Gringos are fighting to stay in the tournament. So, the question is, can they pull it off?
Yeah, next map that we'll be seeing will be Trap. And once again, that means we can play our Tier 1 boats.
Yay! I think the key question is... Well, we saw how evenly matched the teams were in that last game. Gringos, I think, have got the better carrier driver. Let me see, who was it? Little Rowboat was doing a very good job of running the air battle there and even got some strikes in that actually made a difference.
Yeah.
But very surprised to see that snap damcon from the Montana earlier. Single fire when you've got hostile torpedo bombers loitering is... I think that might just have been a snap reflex mistake. Under a bit of pressure, had an error forced out of him and got punished for it as a consequence. But yeah, that was a much better game.
Absolutely, yeah.
Also, interesting comment in my chat, Tora seem to be losing their match. Wow. That is unexpected. Tora, of course, are facing Surface Contact Unknown, who... Yes. Interesting.
Yeah, they're 1-0 down so far. We already have 2 matches already decided. Odin Mortis have beaten Team Delta 2-0, and they're through.
Not really a surprise.
Kings of the Sea have
Kings
won
of the
2-0
Sea
versus
took out
Odin Mortis.
Oh, wow. Okay, that is a bit of an upset. Spielefrau, of course...
Odin Mortis team down.
Spielefrau, of course, were the second Odin Mortis team, so Kings of the Sea will be facing off against WG Pay to Win or WG Pay to Lose, who are 1-1. So that's going to have gone to a decider. Meanwhile, however, Alliance and LOBUZ are just sorting themselves out.
Yeah, team lineups look... we got something different here. It's still a standard-esque play, but something a bit different than last time.
Okay, no real changes from Alliance, so... Okay, and apparently Surface Contact Unknown have got Tora heavily boxed in and outflanked, so we could be seeing the second significant upset if Tora go out to Surface Contact Unknown. Of course, that will leave Surface Contact Unknown playing Odin Mortis International, but... Well, can't have it all your own way, guys. Anyhow,
right,
game 2
loading.
in play. Everything is loaded up. Let's get this show going. And yeah, I don't see any significant changes to the lineup from either side there.
Well, we have a Minotaur here now.
I do see one change. Yes, they've swapped out one of their gearings for a Minotaur. So it's only one destroyer on either side in Trap. Which... Okay, it's not the most...
I thought they'd take 2 this time.
Well...
Quite a large map, so having destroyers available in multiple positions could be very useful.
True, and there's a lot of open water, but apparently not Apparently, both sides figure they can get away with one destroyer. I suspect we're going to see a brawl in B for those. And the other question is A or C? So, full ahead. Headbutting contest. And all of the beasts apparently decided he was going to take a For the Win camo on his Hashidate. Because why not? If you're gonna go in style. So
I should do that for my tier 1 ships, actually.
Yeah. So
have some of those camos.
Let's get this. Right.
So initially, what are we looking at? We've got Force heading down towards A. We've got a Gearing and Minotaur both rushing in towards B. So I imagine Gearing's going to lay a travel smoke for the Minotaur.
I would imagine so, which
and
raises the question.
Going to C, okay.
Which of course raises the question whether or not that's a radar Minotaur.
Yeah, it's one of those things that we're not able to see because not a proper spectator mode, but hopefully that can be fixed somewhere down the line.
Yep, and we've got the initial air contact. Ethereum's pushing into B as expected. Right, contact Minotaur. They've got the detection.
There's the travel smoke.
There's the travel smoke. And yeah,
oh, a lot
not
of shells
quite
coming
fast
in
enough
though.
though. Snapshots towards LOBUZ, who must be changing his underwear at the moment. But I think
Jesus,
just
how many people fired?
All of them. But I think just about everything missed. So
only
LOBUZ,
one salvo of HE connected, and that was for nearly 6,000.
Ouch.
Actually, sorry, 5,000.
But it's had an interesting effect. Ethereum's backed off B completely. Well, he's stopped on the far side. He's just inching his way back in, but he's reversing. He's setting up to make a very fast exit if he has to. Parpasil, of course, the other gearing is in B, so as expected, destroyer brawl there. Meanwhile, Gringos are mostly heading for A. They've got Alliance are mostly heading for A. They've got Ethereum blocking the cap in B. And once again, the pairing of Blood Legend and Masajo Vietnam.
Amethyst Drago took a massive hit in his Mosfet. He's down to half health already. I assume that was either Algocohen or Lockenpower that connected there.
I would
probably
guess
Algocohen, considering the angle.
Either or, I think. Certainly Lockenpower had a brief shot. But again, the Zhao and Honori pairing of Blood Legend and Masajo are heading up to C, so they're looking to contest that. But it looks like it's mostly going to be an A-B scrap for this map.
Yeah, we've got a Zhao, and a little bit further back, we've got our Hindenburg also heading up towards C. So the Zhaos are engaging each other by the looks of things. I'm not sure if you can see our Zhao. We might be trying to use stealth fire.
There is a limited... Well, they've got contact now thanks to the planes, and of course the fact that both sides have pulled the triggers. But yeah, Zhao on Zhao action, it's going to be whoever gets the fires, really. They're both throwing high explosive. And they're both
coming to support, but he's a little ways out.
Semi-angled. And likewise, the Henri, Masajo Vietnam just doesn't have a shot at the moment, but he's going to clear the island in the next few seconds. Guns are laid.
Lockenpower took a pop shot at Minotaur there, I think, as a blind shot. That was very close.
Yes, will Tumanes break contact as Masajo's holding his fire on Tumanes at 20 kilometers. Doesn't
how these
fancy his
torpedoes
chances.
do. Parapasil in the Gearing launched torpedoes into the very small smoke screen.
And okay, a little bit of a desync there, but looks like Ethereum managed to duck behind cover in time. He did not take any hits, but it did force him out of B. And once again, Amethyst playing a very dangerous game here, but it's working. It's
a smoke Minotaur. LOBUZ just smoked himself up and is now spamming Montana. It looks like he has range mod as well, considering the 18-kilometer snipes he's picking off.
I hesitate to dignify that with the word snipe, more like bullet hose. But yes, you can just see the shells arcing across. He's getting about 5 volleys in the air at once. But Amethyst at the moment blocking A. Gringos take B, sees a Mexican standoff once again, and in fact it's not going to stay stood off for long though, because Parpasil's just been picked up heading into C. Ducks behind the island, breaks contact, and that is going to be a position advantage to the Gringos if Alliance can't turn it round. But really most of the action right now is this artillery duel at A. And Amethyst, once again, he's poked his head out where perhaps he shouldn't have done. And as a consequence, he's getting shot. He's on 24,000, controls the fires, but, well, he's defilated, but he's been forced out of A, and that's reset the cap. So still 1 point up to the Gringos, and they're turning that
slowly. Is that it can't really use the islands as effectively as a Des Moines can, just because those Russian railguns are so flat in arcs.
Yeah,
but
the other problem is
it doesn't work.
The other problem is the sheer size of the boat.
That's also our problem.
A DM, you can duck behind this little bit of cover, take full advantage. The Moska's that bit bigger, got spotted when Exorhortis started to turn the corner, and really Amethyst was left with no option but to break away. But the Gringos have taken C. They're 2 control points to 0 up. And we saw this earlier, and hopefully they'll learn from it. But the question is, can they stem their hit point trade slowly enough that they're going to be able to let the territory advantage take it? So the Minotaur's ducked in behind the INT. He's smoked up again, looking for shots, but I don't think he's got anything at the moment.
Minotaur smoke just ran out, so he's well, nothing can really shoot him from there. I don't think anything's spotting him from there either. There's
some limited spotting, but no one's got the angle. LOBUZ, if he stays there, is basically safe for the next couple minutes, unless Bolger decides to try his luck, and yes, he is trying his luck.
I think tried as well.
Yeah, we've got multiple shots coming in.
Actually connected really well, but
clipped a couple, but I don't think it did anything significant.
No, and once he's again, only down 10k.
Yeah,
it's a good shot, just no luck.
Amethyst trying to poke himself back in, block the cap on A, but once again, he's in the Moscow. It's not really suited for this kind of action. This is where a second destroyer would have been invaluable. And
the most quarter pen just goes straight through the 50mm deck as well. So yes, none of your armor is going to be effective like this.
And he's got nowhere to go. He's got to back up and try and duck around this corner, but he's got to surrender A in the process, and it's questionable whether he can do it fast enough.
What I'm curious about is the second Montana, who's been unspotted for a little while. Does he have shots if Amethyst keeps backing up here? Does he have shots on that? I think he does if he's paying attention to it.
He will have shots, and he's going to get a shot in about the next 10 seconds. The thing is, I don't think he's looking that way. Alcraconian's already engaged with a certain Minotaur.
Yeah,
guns are traversed. Yeah, I think the Minotaur is doing a good bit of damage, but I think more importantly it's distracting Alcraconian, because Amethyst, sailing broadside on, reverse, 1/4 speed with 13,000 health, is just neatly trolling along the gap of the island, and if Alcraconian just looks round, he's going to see what can only be described
about 15k there from R Montana
as a juicy target. And yeah, Alliance are getting into A, but they're 222 points down at this stage. They haven't even managed to get off their starting line. So Torpedo's heading in towards Caramel, but not got the range. And Caramel is in a good position.
Here comes Alcraconian shots on Amethyst. Here we go.
Yeah.
Deep angle, though.
Down.
So...
Yeah, but 16-inch guns, they are not going to care. Only 2,000. Couple of overcounts. Yeah. Very, very lucky for Amethyst there. Unfortunately, he's between the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea right now.
And
if
here
he goes,
comes some torpedo bombers. Does he have defensive?
Well, we're about to find out. Does it matter?
If he does, I'm not sure he's
because
going to kill him in time.
Yeah, 6 bombers in the water. More shots coming in from Alcraconian. Steep angle. Oh dear, it's only going to take 1 at this point, and I don't think that. No, there's no defensive. Torps are running.
Take 2 here.
Yeah, maybe eats 1, eats 2. Is he
he's
flooding?
Healing.
Yeah, but
if he...
he's sailing forward, so that's forced him. It's forced him out in front of the other Alliance ships, and as noted, Amethyst is done. He's got Damcon out, but 2,000 health. It's just a question of which...
steal it. Yes.
Yeah.
Montana's... They're securing a lot of kills today.
Well, that's what 16-inch guns tend to do. However,
Fairion's taking a bit of damage here.
Yeah, he's been caught out, and the aircraft are looking hungry. But that's a gearing. He's probably got defensive fire. If it's off cooldown, which I don't think it is. Those torps are.
But he's still getting shots.
Yeah, cross drop comes in from the torpedo bombers. Fisher running. He's not going to be able to outturn that. That is a kill. Boom, little rowboat, absolutely textbook destroyer kill there.
Just about 300 point advantage now, and still having 2 caps. This is looking Well, we had a similar situation last time, and then it started to fall down in the mid game. So
yeah, Alliance hold it together much better in the mid game. They focused their fire better, but I think the Gringos might have learned from that. Turmanes and Uruk Jaimon are focusing on Blood Legend. He's angled, but well, Uruk did throw some armor piercing there, but I think he might be switching his ammunition load. And Blood Legend's got a fire. He's in a certain amount of trouble. He's having to run. So Alliance are getting pinned up below the H line at the moment, which is not a good position for them. They need to get north. And
this could be a snipe. Nope, almost. LOBUZ is spamming Algocoin and Montana, but he's got to be careful because doing so reveals your position. And at this level of competition, those Montanas know how to shoot into smoke, so you have to be very careful. I think both Montanas want him dead right now.
I think Lockenpower wants him dead quite badly, but also has to bear in mind that he's only on 15,000 health.
Also, Lampka's taking a lot of damage here. He's down to 3,500. I think a Montana Saber might have connected.
Yeah, so I don't think he's going to be coming out from behind that island in a hurry, but I also don't think he's got radar range. So we're seeing blind fire, but I don't think that until the smoke cloud dissipates, they're actually going to be able to get a solid target lock.
Oh, LOBUZ's smoke is disappearing, though. He's got to be careful he doesn't get picked up by planes here.
Boom, and there we go. Uruk Jaimon gets taken down by Blood Legend. That was unexpected. So Blood Legend just stringing his targets out and running them in, which leaves the Zhao of the Gringos having to duck behind cover. I think Masajo probably provides some support fire, but Blood Legend again took a beating in the process. He's down to 7,300 health. No fire, but he's going to be out of it until he can get a repair party engaged. But it's really this artillery duel between A and B that's going to decide the game right now. 8 minutes on the clock. Gringos
Algocoin gets Citadel there. That was a beautiful little shot from, I believe, that was Zlokiet. I don't know if I'm saying that right at all, but he's taking a lot of damage here.
I have no idea.
Either takes a shot.
Lokken's taking a shot on Zlokituk, but doesn't do much.
Algocoin down to 7k, and here come the planes.
Oh, yes, and here comes the drop. The question is, how much of his flak suite's left? The fighters are engaged. Again, textbook tactic from Robo here, but he strafes out with only 3 fighters. That's not going to do nearly enough damage.
Here comes
the drop.
And I think that's
got caught in the turn. Yeah, that's going to be
the heal can just about outpace it.
The torp belt stopped the worst of it. Is he flooding, though? Heal's got the worst of it.
He is
on
not.
14,002.5. No floods, but
surviving just.
Yeah, and 6,000, and I suspect that was pucker factor 11 on board Alcoconian's Montana just then.
The only saving grace is that there was no cruisers to spam him down. If there was a cruiser spamming down at the same time, he wouldn't have lasted, but it's just the battleships and the carrier that have any effective shots on him.
Yes, and
speaking of, here they come.
Yeah, rounds down 6,000, but he's angled, and the battleships, once again, LOBUZ is splitting their fire. Some of them are going for Lockenpower. In fact, that's the Minotaur once again. I don't think he's actually got the range on Alcoconian right now, or, well, what little was left of Alcoconian's superstructure will be getting thoroughly riddled. But once again, classic Minotaur tactics, smoke up and just commence the superstructure abuse. But there's a blind fire salvo coming in. The tracers are saying, here I am, aim here. Is it going to work?
No, LOBUZ has already started backing up.
And the tracers went long anyway. So Lockenpower right now, he's manoeuvring, but he's closing on target. So 19,000. Remember, all of these superstructure hits, they only do a few hundred each, but with the sheer rate of fire that a Minotaur has, it's going to add up really fast. 5,000 health. 4,000.
Some large caliber shells coming in as well. Yep, Montana.
And it's the Montana.
The kill.
908, 911 for the Gringos. Someone dial 911.
Oh, we have an Henri charging the Zhao. He needs to kill this Zhao, otherwise it's going to be game.
Yeah, and honestly, at this point, unless Alliance pull a minor miracle out of their hats, it's going to go to a third match. LOBUZ demonstrating that actually, yeah, they can do this. And Turmanes, nobody's fool. He's running. He's almost certainly dumped his torpedoes, given the angle, and all he really has.
He hasn't. There's no torp drop at all.
Interesting.
No.
I would have assumed he'd make a hard starboard, get behind the island, and
unless
dump
they're
his
still on reloads
torpedoes.
from a previous drop.
Or unless he's lost the tubes. I mean,
That's also
the
possible.
amount of fire he's taking, I mean, he's had to pop his damcon there.
Well, Raid's going broadside, though.
Yeah, well, he just needs to get that kill. And also, there's an air attack coming in on Marsejo. Angling up, the fighters are on station,
Zhao's gonna burn
but
down.
it's not going to be enough. Panic drop from one squadron. Tormanus burns down. Fish in the water. Is it going to do it? He's going to eat one. There we go. 11,000 health.
No flood or downcoat.
Yeah, 14,000
They have
health.
shots on the carrier, actually, here. They could kill the carrier if they have enough time.
But the question is time. 4.5 minutes left on the clock, and honestly right now I can understand Marsejo wanting Little Rowboat dead fast, because Rowboat's done a pretty solid job in this match so far.
Indeed. I mean,
Yes.
LOBUZ have most of their ships on really good health, though.
Okay, and I'm just looking at my chat for a second. We're going to have to get confirmation of this, but yep, breaking news. I think Tora might have gone. Oh, they're down 2 ships, so they're not actually out yet, but it may not be looking good for them. Surface contact may be in a position to deal a massive upset there. However, getting back to
Horus needs to stay alive, because if he goes down, that's game. And here comes the Montana salvo.
Yes.
Oh, so Gearing's also spammed down.
Parpachil in a certain amount of trouble, but he's quite happy just to stay bow on, present 2/3 of his firepower, and in fact breaks contact, so he's popped his smoke. He's quite content to help nibble away at Exorhoritis. There comes a high X salvo, 3007.
Here comes the Montana salvo on Exorhoritis. This probably the kill.
This could be it, and I think the Minotaur may be looking at him as well.
There it is.
There we are, 984. It's not quite game, but there we go. It ticks over.
Secondaries killed the Omri.
That isn't quite
secondary build confirmed.
isn't quite the most embarrassing way to die, but it's pretty much up there. So 1-1 between Alliance and Grande Gringos. So this is going to be interesting. It's going to a 3rd round decider. It is Warrior's Path, and that's one of the more interesting maps of this setup. We've seen it a few times in the group stages, and it never failed to give a good game.
Yeah, so this could be... It's really, really good. We saw a lot of it in the first day, because it was the first map of the first day, which means every team ends up playing it. What we saw more often than not, though, was the team on the south side trying to push into C, not working, and getting wrapped around. I wonder if that's going to happen again here.
You have to wonder. Maybe the teams have looked at the footage and realised that C tends to be a death trap, but the other thing we have got to do is the final giveaway of the day.
Indeed.
So, let's set up the Nightbot word. Exclamation mark. Tiebreak. Upset, yes. Exclamation mark, upset. So, apparently it's not looking good for Tora.
Interesting.
They're down 2 ships, but not much in the way of points. Just as a reminder, if you've already won something in one of these King of the Sea giveaways, the codes won't work. We've got 4 codes to give away this time, however. So get your exclamation mark upset into both my channel and Stunts to double your chances of winning. Speaking of winning, you have to wonder if the teams are going to change their lineups for this match, because right now it's everything to play for.
Indeed. We saw a small change in the form of the Minotaur on LOBUZ, and to be fair, that Minotaur put in some pretty good work. It might not have added up to a high damage number, but the panic of having a Minotaur spam you for a minute straight is definitely annoying, to say the least.
Yes, and for all that the individual shells don't do very much, they're reliable. They don't care too much about angle unless you hit auto bounce, especially on superstructures, and it adds up. Just a Minotaur sitting back in its smoke and unleashing the heavy machine gun is one of the best suppressive forces I've seen at high tiers in this game.
And well played to that Minotaur player, because he was constantly moving in the smoke, making it very difficult for the Montanas to snipe him. And they tried. They sent several salvos their way. They couldn't connect a single one, so props to the Minotaur player.
Absolutely. And as I've noted before, Gringos' carrier driver, Little Robo, also knows exactly what he's doing. He's put in several key strikes, and he's generally done a very good job in the air in the reconnaissance war as well. So I don't think we're going to see too many changes out of Gringos for this, but Alliance, well, we'll see.
Yeah. So it looks like we might be having just a quick 5-minute break for LOBUZ, just to get things going. It looks like ALN are happy with that, so...
Okay, that's
we'll have
fine.
a nice little 5-minute breather.
Gives people more time to get their chat entries in. And, as noted... Well, let's
looks like
just...
TTT might be 500 points down. Ooh.
Whoa.
Not good.
That is a serious upset.
Yeah, and, we have our... the winners of Pay to Win versus Pay to Lose, it's Pay to Win. So they'll be going through to face Kings of the Sea in the quarterfinals. So that's our first quarterfinal match decided. I'm
tempted to say that that's what you get for a more optimistic name. Or possibly a deterministic one. After all, Wargaming Pay to Lose, and, well, that's exactly what they did. Sorry. Odin Mortis through to the quarters as well, beating Team Delta, not really a surprise there.
And they'll face the winner of this match, which could go either way, to be honest. Very, very close game.
Indeed, and the real surprise, I think, will be if Tora go out to Surface Contact Unknown, who really were unknown. I'd never heard of them prior to this tourney. Tora, of course, have a rep as one of the better competitive clans, but surprises can come... Well, you don't know when they're coming, that's why they're surprises. Other than that, a lot of the...
I think every other game is apparently underway, so we'll start seeing results of Unity Francophone versus Against All Odds, Orca versus Total War Alliance. Omni are currently 1-0 up against Over.
Breaking news, Surface Contact Unknown are through 2-0. Tora are out.
Wow.
That just came through then. That just came through on the challenge. So, congrats to Surface Contact Unknown. That is our first significant upset of this King of the Sea. Those videos are going to be interesting viewing. They will be facing probably Odin Mortis International.
More than likely, yeah.
Well, guys, it was a nice run while it lasted, but hey, they've already dealt one significant surprise, so maybe we'll see a second from them.
That'd be interesting, yeah.
It would indeed. Definitely an upset, though. Right, so... what on earth has just happened in my chat? Oh, right, lots of emotes happened in my chat. Yeah. Wow. Sunk beat Tora are sunk, so yes, there are going to be so many jokes about that.
Oh, absolutely.
2-0 as well. I would have... If we were going to see an upset, I would have expected to see it 2-1, not 2-0.
Right.
But, wow. I'm going to have a look at the footage of that later on. I'm going to check who was casting that game.
Yes, let's have a look. Do we have... Where's our schedules?
Yeah, schedule 3...
Tora versus Surface Contact Unknown. That would have been... Flymo and Izu were casting that one. As well as Private Penguin and Golio Solo.
Okay, they got the good one then, didn't they? Wow.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah. So... just waiting for LOBUZ to get themselves sorted out and braked over and ready as and when. Alright. Be interesting to see which way this one goes. Of course, the winner of this will find themselves facing off against... where did I leave my tournament bracket?
I'll be going up against Odin Mortis.
Oh dear. So... Definitely one upset. Nice close game. Alliance effectively got pinned up at A, didn't they?
Yeah, I think they did. And by the time they made a push on C, it was too late. They didn't have it anywhere else, so... And the fact that the Omri went down to the carrier secondary as well. That's just icing on the cake.
With only 16 points left, yeah, it was over in 10 seconds anyway, but getting sunk like that's just embarrassing. Yeah, so, waiting for things to sort themselves out. What will be interesting is whether or not that has Alliance come a bit more aggressively out of the blocks this time. They've been content to be relatively conservative in their games so far. Against DHK it didn't matter, but against Grande Gringos it's cost them early advantage twice now.
Indeed. Looking at the team lineup, LOBUZ is all locked in. Looks fairly standard, same as what I think we saw last time, so that's good.
Indeed.
Like we're
and Alliance are just getting themselves sorted out as well, so once they are sorted, we are good to go. Not seeing any significant changes from Alliance. Mind you, it's not so much their team composition as it is their stance going into the battle. If they go front foot this time, then they might be able to beat LOBUZ at their own game. Of course, if they can't beat LOBUZ, they're going home, but hey, everything to play for.
Yep.
Right. Teams are declaring ready, game is loading. Let's get this show on the road.
This is the decider to fight Odin Mortis.
Yes.
Not the greatest of prizes, but you never know.
Well, getting through to the quarter-finals at this point does actually see quite a significant little uptick in the prize pool.
This is top 8 teams, so that's always boasting, right? To be top 8.
Yeah, indeed. And LOBUZ have gone double destroyer again. Aetherian's pulled out a Grozavoy this time. He's normally a gearing man, and yep, they've kept that Minotaur. So
no American smoke then for Alliance.
No. Which would tend to suggest a more aggressive stance if they're not planning to sit back.
Interesting. Again, this map, 2 destroyers.
Definitely gives them an advantage if they're planning an A-B split. But, well, we'll see. So, headbutts.
Headbutts.
There we go. Right, let's go see what the teams are up to. So, Alliance. Looks like we're seeing... Okay, looks like a bit of a bomb burst. Aetherian and Borgia are pushing out to make for C, so that's their destroyer accounted for. Blood Legends having an early core set for the AB gap, but it looks like a significant chunk of their fleet is swinging out to the eastern side, and the Henri of Macejo is pushing up towards A. Now, I wonder if he's going to have his usual buddy. Yep, there it is. Blood Legends turned starboard. So that pairing, Macejo and Blood Legend in the Henri and the Zhao, seems to be a fairly regular bit of their deployment selection. And I'm guessing that's a turbo bomber from Little Rowboat.
Looks like we might have a restart here for a disconnect.
Oh, we have a disconnect from Alliance, so they've called for a restart. LOBUZ have agreed. We are going for restart. Okay. So we will pull out, set up for a restart, and once things are ready to go... right, okay, exiting out myself. Okay, so just waiting for the training room to unlock itself, and we just need everyone to exit the training room and cycle round.
The client's being very slow to let me out of this battle. There we go.
Okay, question is, who disconnected?
Not sure.
I think it was Alliance that called the disconnect.
Yeah, Alliance called it.
LOBUZ are mostly back in. Well, you and Tumani still need to ready up.
Yeah.
But Alliance looks like Feld, Borgia, and Lockenpow and Exahortis are all having a slow connect back. There goes... Yeah. Okay, we have 1, 2... We're just waiting on Lockenpow and Exahortis. Of course, the teams can't change their lineups now. Those have been submitted to the adjudicators, so there we go. All team members are ready.
Waiting on LOBUZ.
Alliance is signalling ready. Just need LOBUZ to commit. And oh, well, I was signalling ready. Not sure what's happened there.
I think they accidentally pressed ready when there was someone who hadn't readied up their ship, so we just got a little bit of a weird interface.
Yeah. Oh well.
All right, here we go.
Right. Grande Gringles versus Alliance. Round 3. Take 2.
Hopefully the game is kind enough to let us connect.
Yeah. And Unité Francophone are up against all odds in the round of 16 as well. So
that'll be a good game.
That will be a very good game. Alright. So let's see how it shakes out this time. Probably exactly the same way.
Probably. I would be very surprised if they change their minds right now.
Mm-hmm. But I was very surprised to see what looked like a sea push from Artheos and one of the cruisers. I thought we'd established last week that sea was basically a death trap.
Yes. LOBUZ, in the minute before we had to restart, looked like they were putting the gearing and monitor into B and trying to get that in a very aggressive position. They had a force heading towards A, just for kiting, but otherwise it was fairly standard of what you'd expect to see, or what we saw in the group stages anyway.
Yeah. Anyhow, headbutt, boom,
bam.
There we go. Right, now let's see what's going on. And yep, it looks like exactly the same shakeout, with Massageau and Blood Legend in the Henri Zhao pairing pushing out towards A, while Atherion and Borja Lumpka in the Grosjevoy and the DM push towards C. Not sure what the rest of the fleet's doing at the moment. They're still taking some time to get themselves sorted.
Oh, they're doing something a little different than how they started last time. The Minotaur is not heading for B. It's heading over towards the A flank instead.
Yep, and
leaving the kiting cruisers on the right. Okay.
And once again, we're seeing turbo bombers on this side from Little Rowboat, just dumping the bombs, getting the speed up, and of course using them as turbo scouts and fighter bait, because of course fighters can't catch a empty dive bomber. That's one of the little peculiarities, and exploiting that separates a good carrier driver from a great one.
Yeah, Little Robo. Okay, there we go. Now he drops his bombs. A little slow to get those up. He wanted to get 3 of his fighter squadrons up first. Then he got his dive bombers up.
Yeah, and he just wanted the initial air superiority going. So, yeah, oh boy, I think we're seeing an AC split from Alliance here.
Well, yeah, the LOBUZ are doing the same thing, although we've got one gearing looking to maybe probe into B here.
And I can see why B's unpopular in the early game. You've got this big open stretch of water coming out of the control point to the northwest, and the northern team have got, well, pretty good angles on the run down to A. So have the southern team. So an early push into B, not a good thing, but there's some travel smoke popping south of B. That will be one of the gearings, either Parpachil or Uruk Shaiman.
Yeah, that's Uruk. He's now going to beach himself on the side of that island, slow himself down, stay in the cap circle though, just about.
And of course stay in the smoke as well. So that's absolutely textbook early cap from Uruk Shaiman.
Took a shot from something doing it though.
And the other gearing, Parpachil, has been picked up by fighters at point C. So this could get interestingly messy. I wonder if the Gringos are going to realise, make a sharp left and just let Alliance bog themselves down in C, because we've seen this happen before. I wonder if they're going to try it deliberately. Papa Shield's broken away. He's abandoning the cap. No one seems interested in trying to grab A, though.
Not currently. LOBUZ do have their Minotaur getting into position, but it's such an open cap. Minotaur's not really the best choice there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's going to be no radar ships here, and it doesn't look like there's any planes here either.
No. And even if there are planes, he can smoke up, move in the smoke, and, well, a Zao melts just as fast when you start hosing it down. And speaking of melting Zaos, I think we've got some early shell fire coming in.
Yep, here's LOBUZ in his Minotaur popping in. There's the Henri coming around the corner. There's the Zao.
He's popped in smoke. He's slowing. He's going to
might take a bit of damage here.
He's going to hope he's got enough of an angle to bounce the shell fire from the Henri.
Zao had AP loaded. Oh, that's going to hurt. Ooh. 27.5 he's down to, so nowhere near as bad as it could have been. Yep, and now it's machine gun time. He can just take the spotting off the aircraft, but he's got to contend with the fact that the Henri knows where he is. 12K. And he has really got to start moving. Just muzzle. He's got to muzzle his guns a little, really, because right now they're just firing back at the tracers. Because his engine's down, he's not accelerating anywhere near as fast. The Zao hits him, not very hard. Neither does the Henri. Okay, I'm surprised he needs to muzzle his guns. He either needs to muzzle his guns or he needs to switch to broadside fire. And you know what? I think he's just done it, but did he do it in time? Eats another couple of salvos. There. He dumped his torpedoes, that's why he stopped firing. Blood Legend. Oh, ouch. Yeah. Minotaur down early game. There we go, and that is going to be quite a significant kill. Because... Now, will the Zao take these torpedoes? Very, very tight spreads. Yeah, single launch fighters just went overhead, so they are spotted. He'd have to be absolutely brain dead, suicidal to do that, and I think he's backing up. Honestly, I think his worst concern is the fact that Caramel is eyeing him up on and looking for revenge, but those torpedoes are just going to sail off into oblivion. If they'd hit, it would have been devastating, but right now, not really Blood Legend's biggest problem at the moment. His concern is going to be trying to break contact, which he can't really do unless Alliance's fighters manage to get him some space. Then on the C flank, two Hindenburgs are pushing the Moskva, who's taken a little bit of damage from the broadside AP. Yeah, dealt a little bit back, but not enough. I wonder if Blood Legends broke contact, because Caramel's about to reload, and right now Blood Legends broadside on. He's stealthed. Yeah, so he's safely away. Meanwhile, Point C has turned into the... Well, maybe it hasn't turned into the usual tar pit. Armistice Drago is kind of on his own, and he's running. Now, if Alliance can hold their momentum here, I mean, he's got the Hindenburg support over on the 10 line, but Rella's, well, he's done a good harassing role in previous games, but he's going to have to attract an awful lot of attention. But at the moment, it's still even Stevens on the control points, because I think the Gringos have lost a cruiser. Oh yes, the Minotaur, of course. So there's not much in it, and Amethyst eats. That was very nearly lethal from Lock and Power over there. The shells have just gone a little differently. So C's still something of a tar pit, but right now the Gringos have got their own problems, and I think it's going to be Uruk who tries to even this up by getting into point A and making the cap. Yeah, here he comes. Just about head to the south side of A. Fighters will probably pick him up as they chase the torpedo bombers. Yeah, but there's the smoke. That advertised fact. Now, is he going to try and pull flak trap duty? Doesn't matter. Feld backs his fighters off the moment the anti-air lights up. Unfortunately, Uruk did get spotted. Shots out from Marseille, just a snapshot, and it all lands short. Yep. So, point A swinging Lock and Power could be getting dropped here. Here come the two torpedo bomber squadrons. He's alone, so the AA will do enough, but... there we go. I don't think it's still too early in the game, and Montana's AA is brutal unless you really softened it up. Two torps come off, one's going to hit. And the other... might scrape the paint. No, that's missed. Just about, yeah. Yeah, good, decent bit of torpedo beat there. But that's forced Lock and Power off his supporting position into A. He's going to have to get himself turned around. He's flooding. He's flooding, and more to the point, he's not controlling it.
Had he taken a
Have he put out fires from something else?
Not that I've seen, but his damcon must be on cooldown because no one lets a flood run that long if they've got any choice.
Yeah. So I'm going to assume the Mossville was spamming him, and that's what set him on fire multiple times.
Yeah.
And he's just put it out, not expecting the airstrike to even get close to him.
Yes, and speaking of airstrikes,
healing,
the Alliance torpedo bombers are looking for some action as well. I think they're going to pass on the smoke cloud containing the gearing and maybe try for Quarmel, because Quarmel's taking a
cover
good
there,
pasting.
so I don't think it's going to work.
They're going to have to do something. They need to dodge that no strafe. He's just going for the disruption attack. I don't know. He's looking for the strafe. Robo is very definitely... There's the strafe. 1, 2...
Bit too far back.
3 bombers through. Weapons in the water.
One's going to connect.
One to connect. Now, is this going to force Caramel's Damcon out? Because he's on fire at the moment.
Doesn't look like it.
Yes, and don't think that was a flood, though. But Alliance have actually gotten themselves out of the tar pit. It's actually impressive. They've got their Grozhevoy through into point B. Aetherians making the cap. Bulger's providing support. Fine, just raining high explosive onto Zaramel, who's bow on, but high explosive does not care. They're looking for a couple more fires and just getting burned on. Even Aetherian's getting in on the action from his smoke cloud. And the Hindenburg's there as well, but
Rez is doing a good job of taking down Chryson. He's down to 12k now. Assistant firepower. Oh, here comes a Montana salvo.
Yeah, Bulger rides the worst of it. Chryson's eating a good few salvos, but it might well be German high explosive once again. That quarter penetration just doing the direct damage needed, but he's got to hit to do that damage. But
managed to stealth up now.
Chryson's broken contact, takes a couple of last hits, turns away from the last salvo, and should be clear. Right, we could be seeing a reverse here. Normally we've always seen C as a tar pit, but Caramel's about to go down. All the armor in the world won't save you against a repeated beating from high explosive if it's in your superstructure. And
he's healing.
Repair party's kicked in, but there's flanking fire coming in.
Henri gets a double fire there.
There's the fire, and well, the repair party's going to contain the fire just, but it only needs a couple more. Boom, not enough. The Henri did the deed, and Aetherion's grabbed point B, came down the channel from C. But now he's got his own problems because that's a pair of torpedo bombers. He hasn't really got steerage way here, and Grozhevoy is not the most agile destroyer, but the fighters have shown up. So Feld gets his planes into just the right place at the right time, scares the torpedo bombers off B, and buys Aetherian the time to get mobile again. Of course, he's still got 2 gearings to deal with, but hey, advantage at the moment to Alliance.
Yeah, one of those gearings is still full health, so a little bit of leeway to take some damage if need be. The other one's only on about 5,500, so you need to be a little bit more cautious.
But the Gringos have got this problem that once again they're getting spread out, and while a lot of the Alliance ships are taking damage, that damage is getting spread out. They're not converting it to kills.
Here come the torpedo bombers again. No fighter coverage anywhere near here. Going over the gearing, who I imagine will pop defensive fire here.
From the sheer amount of flak coming up, they've lost 2 bombers already. That gearing's
going for the Montana, but here come the fighters.
Fire.
Are they fast enough to get there?
They are not. They're not going to make that run before they get there.
One's going to try and drop. How many will they get off?
They're going to go for a long range drop, I think. There we go. There's the strafe.
They might connect all 3 actually.
Out.
Yeah, all 3 are going to connect.
2 and 3. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, that was unexpected. So that's almost certainly landed a flood, but
actually, I don't think it has.
Almost certainly. Let's wait for the Montana to reappear.
That's a bit of luck.
Yeah, very, very lucky. Rella's, well, he's burning, and he's single fire. You know what? I don't think he's flooding either. He's not losing health fast enough.
Oh, I think this might be Amethyst Drago. I think he might go down in the Mossville here. He's in open water, he's exposed, and he's static. He's got a Des Moines firing at him, a Grozhevoy, and a Montana.
And he's almost exactly where the Montana of Caramel was when he got sunk, and he's giving more angles, so 15,000 health. As you say, the DM's looking for shots, but at that range, with the Moskv's armor, he might be better off going for high explosive. But there's a fire. Instant Damcon, but no real choice in that situation with that low health. Torpedo bombers
Will the Montana snipe the kill again?
Circling. Ooh. Rounds coming down. Lock and Power looking for it. Amethyst showing a bit too much angle. Yep. Boom. 16-inch shells, proving very good at finishing off wounded ships. And right,
Papa Seal has got into sea and is now contesting that.
Yeah, but Rels and Zlokituk are both in trouble now. I have to wonder how Alliance are going to focus their fire. At the moment, they're splitting a little. So Rels is taking high explosives, Zlokituk's taking Hindenburg. You'd think they would focus Rels, and in fact that's exactly what they are doing. Exohoritus switching his target there, and 10,000. Kreishin will be content just to go for the burn and the boom here. He doesn't need to worry about angle with high explosive. That quarter pen from the German.
That's a double fire, that's
8 inches. Yeah.
Again, he's going to go down.
Again, this is a demonstration of what happens when you focus your fire. Rel is just getting beaten to a pulp.
Pops the heel. So he's got a little bit of time.
Manages to jink an armor-piercing salvo from the DM, but it's a DM. That's not going to last for very long.
There it is.
Boom. Finds the upper belt, puts him down. 900 to 414. This is almost certainly going Alliance's way. But it just reinforces what really ought to be a basic lesson in WoW, that you need to focus your fire. Take one ship at a time, put its guns out of commission, move on to the next target.
Yep. So it's a case of who's going to kill this Montana, I think.
Yes, and he's got a lot of ships aimed at him right now.
And it's Montana again.
It's the Montana. What a surprise.
It's always the Montanas.
Yes. Over in Point A, however, it's... no, it's not anything at all. That was the game.
Montana as well. Montana, everybody. Ship of the tournament.
Absolutely, and I think we're going to see a lot of popularity on those things in random battles as a consequence. So, Alliance take the match 2-1. They go through. Grande Gringos go out. And, right, we have one final giveaway to resolve.